everybody, thanks for joining me. So my video today is going to be back to reviewing bags, and I have decided on reviewing my Tivoli from Louis Vuitton. I have it in the PM size in the monogram canvas, of course. Obviously I know that this is a bag that they are no longer making or manufacturing, but it seems to me like there's some pretty high interest. I see it all the time on the resale sites. Fashion File and The Real, so there may be some of you out there who are interested in purchasing it, and I thought I would do the video. And I'm also going to be doing a quick comparison between the Tivoli and my Speedy, because they are kind of similar in size, and of course they're both top handle bags. But before I show you the bag, I just want to tell you a quick story about how I got this bag. There's always a bag story involved, you know. And before I purchased this bag, I was actually using a Dior hobo bag. I had seen it when I was out to dinner one day. There was a woman who had this beautiful Dior Canage hobo bag. I thought it was really cool. I scoured the internet, found the bag, purchased it, got it home, and I hated it. It was this big hobo bag, and the thing about it that really drew my attention initially was that it was kind of on a drawstring, so the shoulder strap was part of the drawstring, and all you had to do is pull the bag open or push it to close it, and I just thought it was really cool. Added to that the quilting from the Canage pattern, and then they also have the little Dior charms that hang down, and I thought it was really good looking. However, when I got it home, it was so dysfunctional for me. It just didn't work. It was really big, it had a longer strap, and I had to almost stretch my arm out to its complete length to get into the bag, and then I'd have to fish around for things, and they would sort of like run away from you as you're fumbling through the bag trying to grab your keys or trying to grab your wallet, and it was maddening. I just couldn't stand it. I couldn't use it. And then you couldn't open the bag to look inside to see where the item was. You had to put it down, open it up, and then of course it flopped because it was just a big floppy sack, and needless to say, I got rid of it almost immediately. So that was the one bag that I've had that I've hated. I bought a lot of bags in my day, and that was the one that I absolutely hated. It just didn't work for me. I sold it about 6 months later. But the reason I'm telling you that is because this bag was kind of a reaction to that bag. So I decided, well, obviously big roomy shoulder bags are not for me. I've got to go back to my top handle bags, and I want to have some nice structure, and I'm going to downsize. And that's why I ended up with this. It does come, or did come, in a couple different sizes. I believe it came in an MM and a GM as well. Although now if you look on the resale sites, it seems to me, I may be wrong, but it seems to me like they're selling the MM, the medium size, as the GM. And from what I can remember of shopping, because I shopped this bag intently, I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and I think there was a GM that was an actual shoulder bag, and then there was the MM, which is the one that most of you know, with the adjustable straps right here that are on buckles, and the strap goes up and down. And then this is the PM that is strictly a top handle size, and it does not have any shoulder strap on it. So the reason I purchased this, I just thought it was one of the prettiest things I have ever seen. And in fact, every time I walk by my display shelf here, it catches my eye because I still think it is so pretty. Weirdly enough, this is the only Louis Vuitton bag that I have in monogram canvas. I have a lot of Louis Vuittons. I have them in Epi and Empreinte and Vernis, Damier, Azur, and Eben. This is the only item I have from Louis Vuitton that is in monogram canvas, and I think that the canvas is the perfect pattern for the shape of this bag. And I'll show you, I'll bring it up to the camera here so you can see all the little LVs, how uniform they are. There's one over here and there's one over here. And then when you get inside the pleat, you can see the little flowers are highlighted inside the pleat. And same with the other side. Now, of course, it's all upside down on the back side because this is one piece of leather that goes all the way through. And I just thought that was really pretty. There's so much attention to detail with this bag, and I really did enjoy the look of it. I love the pleating. I love all the curves on it. I love the way the side kind of tucks on the inside here and then angles out. I love the curved zipper. I love this little zipper pull here. It is a little LV charm. In fact, I wish this was detachable because I would love to use it on some of my other bags. It's just so pretty. I also like the fact that the bag has so much vachetta leather on it. Now, most of the time, for me, I really like the brand new white vachetta leather. and I kind of get a little disappointed when it starts to patina. But for this particular bag, for some reason, because there is such a presence of vachetta on it, and it has patinaed into the most beautiful color of like honey gold. I just love it. And you can still see the glazing on the handle. So the glazing of that red stripe there has held up really, really well. And overall, I think the quality of this bag and the design of this bag is really spectacular. Like, this to me is what really differentiates a designer bag from a high street bag or some other bag that you might find in, like, I don't know, Target. A couple other features of the bag are these nice chaps. Again, that vachetta leather. Here, it's all over the strap. It has the badge on the one side, a similar badge on the back, although it's not embossed with the Louis Vuitton. Even the seams on the side have the vachetta leather here. And then all around the zipper, the trim around the zipper is about, I would say, 3/4 of an inch wide, which is pretty wide for Louis Vuitton. Most of the time they do not line their zippers this heavily, but it really adds to the look of the bag. So I think the whole thing is like a piece of perfection. I really just love the look of it. In fact, I would probably have to say right now it is one of the prettiest Louis Vuitton bags that I personally own. Inside of the bag is lined with not monogrammed, it's just your regular canvas, and it does open really, really nicely. So you can see here when I'm pulling it, it really does have a lot of give. That is because of the leather that goes around it. The leather really holds it in place and gives it that extra structure. So you can open it up quite wide, and that is a good thing because actually the capacity of this bag is not as big as it first appears. There are 2 pockets here. This one right here, just a little bit bigger than this one, and this would be that old-fashioned cell phone pocket that most people or most designers used to put in. Obviously nowadays cell phones have changed in sizes and they don't really fit there anymore, but it is a nice pocket. Maybe you can fit your 6-key ring holder or something like that in there. Other than that, it is kind of empty on the inside. I did mention that the bag is a top handle bag. It does not have any D-rings on the side. So I suppose you could purchase a strap and connect to the handles, much like you would on the Speedy. I have never done that. I always preferred it as a top handle bag. And most of the time, actually, I carried it on my arm. That is because it tends to be a little bit heavier. I feel like it's a little heavy for a canvas bag, but that could be because of all of the leather on it. The leather obviously weighs more. The bottom of the bag is really beautiful too. It has 5 feet on the bottom. They are embossed with Louis Vuitton. It does have the X stitching right here, which just adds a little extra texture to it, a little extra support, and it just overall makes it look really, really pretty. So how would I compare this to the Speedy? Well, again, my Speedy is made out of epi, so it's not exactly an apples to apples kind of comparison, but you can imagine if you have a Speedy in monogram, it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same styling. It's just a little, the epi is a little bit stiffer than the monogram canvas, but overall you can see that they're kind of the same size. Now, I'm going to hold the Speedy up in front of the Tivoli so you can see that the Speedy is actually a little bit narrower. I don't know if you can see this. So the Tivoli is about 14 inches, I believe, just a little bit longer than the Speedy. And they are almost the same height. So if you can hold them up there, you can see the Tivoli is just slightly shorter. However, the capacity of the Speedy is much bigger than the Tivoli, and the reason why I'm showing you right now, you can see that the Tivoli is going to taper in from the bottom to the top, whereas the Speedy goes up much more straight before it tapers, and that extra straightness gives it extra capacity inside. Also, another thing that takes away the inside capacity of the Tivoli is the fact that the zipper is curved. So even though it is lovely and it really gives it a unique feature, when you open up the bag, the sides of the bag are not as easy to access as the rest of it because there is this pleat here. So this ended up being a bag, much as I wanted a structured bag, it ended up being a bag that I had to place my items in. So I had a big makeup bag. I would have to put it over here, and then I couldn't necessarily put my wallet next to it, I would have to maneuver a little bit. And so it became a bag that was sort of like putting puzzle pieces together where you had to place every item carefully. That's good for organization, but anytime you had to add anything extra, maybe you want to take an iPad or something, it certainly would not fit very easily in this bag without having to remove other items. So I did find that as large as it appears, I mean, to me this looks like a medium-sized bag, but it's definitely not going to hold as much as the Speedy is, because the Speedy does not taper. It has a straight across the top zipper, and even though the opening for the Speedy is a little bit narrower, I have stuff in here, so just ignore my stuffing. You can definitely fit more in there in the long run. And I've said over and over again in my videos that I'm the kind of person that likes a medium-sized bag with a big open space, and I can throw a lot of things in there. So the Tivoli, yes, it has a big open space, not as spacious as some other bags, and you can put things in there, although I found that I actually had to sort of place them in there a little bit more carefully. But overall, if you're considering buying this on the resale market, I definitely can say that it has held up beautifully, that it really is such a pretty bag. I enjoyed wearing it. I still carry it occasionally, but it's kind of one of those bags that I have on display, and I enjoy it just as much on display as I do actually using it. It goes with a lot of things. You know, a lot of people aren't too concerned about the busyness of the monogram pattern. It is more of a casual type of bag versus this one, which is in the epi, and I feel that the black epi goes with a little bit more. You could dress it up a little bit more. This doesn't really dress up that well. However, I did pretty much carry it everywhere except maybe for some sort of a formal occasion or something. But I did enjoy it. One other thing, you can sort of put it on your shoulder. Now I don't have any sleeves on, but if it were winter time and I had a winter coat on, I could never do that. But overall, these are two really good choices if you're looking for a Louis Vuitton top handle bag. I can't really say that I have a favorite because they're different. This one is in the epi, and of course this was my first luxury bag and I love it to pieces. I'll never part with it. And this was sort of it was not really an impulse purchase because I did ponder it for quite a while, but it was sort of a reaction to a bad experience with the bag. I probably won't sell it anytime soon because I just enjoy looking at it, even if I don't use it that much. And yeah, I just think it is just such a pretty little thing. So that is it for my comparison of my Tivoli and my Speedy. I hope it was helpful for you, and if you have any comments or questions about it, feel free to comment in the section below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and thank you to anyone who has subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate that as well. So until my next video, I will see you soon, and take care. Bye-bye.